we'll go live and then count it in. Gives me a chance to get this set up. No, we're not hosting. Hello there, Brooke Waters and Sergi from Stickmen Media. No Margaret today, running late, doing some stuff with Ministry of Awesome. Beg your pardon. Today we're talking about the texturing of the pistol for the game After the Light, our zombie horror game. Actually, I learnt it is okay to call it a survival horror, even if you don't have to find food and drink. There doesn't seem to be another category on YouTube, at least, for that sort of game, and on Wikipedia actually. Anyway, right. So we'll start the movie running and hand over to Sergi to tell us what he's doing.
Well, just starting with some bases for well, we have all the groups with the ID maps as previously we made in the other video. So yeah, what I'm doing here is just choosing one part at random and start applying some base materials. With those bases, what I do is
nice wood.
Yeah, need some more tweaking, but yeah. But with those materials, what I do is just start building up custom ones. So yeah, we can see the layer stack that what I try to do is first I want to have a good base to start with, and after that what I do is maybe in this case I add some procedural textures to just make something that I need or different from the base material, and on top of that sometimes I end up painting my own layers. Very often it depends on the model and the style. Here I'm using a gradient just to give some areas more darkness, overall darkness, just for the bottom part of the grip. And yeah, so that's it. But basically what I do is just putting different layers with different filters or generators or...
Okay, well that was a very short string. Thank you for that.
Okay, you can go.
So all these wood wood materials that we're going through now, these are all in Unreal, I take it.
Well, they will be exported to Unreal after
Okay.
this. So yeah. We use...
Oh, I see. No, sorry. Yes, I thought for some reason we were in Unreal, but we're actually in Maya here, aren't we?
No, it's Substance.
It's a Substance?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So what I...
So Substance has all these, but not be exported. But it's a really nice set of wood materials.
Yeah.
So you go through a few of them there.
There are some very good bases, depending on what you choose from. You have just base materials or smart materials. In this case, we see some smart materials. I think I use one smart material for the grip. So what I do is just with a smart material I have all the original layer stack in the right, so I can start tweaking all what I need, all the parameters that I need, and putting on the model and the stuff, putting mines on top. So yeah, that's basically the workflow. Painting as well. So we have different methodologies here. As I say, we can just start with pre-made material and start building from there, or we can just create it from scratch and start building from that material. But anyway, it's just depending on the starting point of what you need, what you want, or what you're trying to achieve. So yeah, that's the thing. For the grip, I used some custom textures for the procedural lines for the wood, some painting, gradients, and different mix. I think I have an overlay color to give more brightness as well.
Mhm.
And I have another one that is a reddish color as an overlay, so that to tweak a little bit the overall color of the grip. So now I'm just seeing how the roughness is affecting the material, so I just tweak all the needed parameters to tweak the roughness. And yeah, so building up everything, and I have the concept in the other monitor, so I'm just looking at the concept all the
Yeah,
time.
we should remember every now and then to pull it across. People can have a look.
I did it
Did you? Oh, very good.
30 seconds ago. So yeah,
I saw it sort of like a flash, but
yeah, it was fast.
you just got to remember we're watching. We're always going to be watching it like
Yeah.
4 times faster.
So yes, I'm here. I'm still working with the grip, and I'm progressing with that texture. So sorry, when I said before that exporting materials, I don't export materials. I export the textures to Unreal. In Unreal, you build the material and plug in the textures.
Hey, the sweet Henrik, how you doing?
Right?
Nice of you to join us at 3 a.m. or whatever time it is for you.
Yeah.
This guy goes out of his way to watch our stream, I think, getting up at 3 a.m.
He's the VIP.
Either that or he's one of these guys that just doesn't sleep at night.
So yeah, I'm working with this. Just giving some hand-painted shadow just on the bottom of the grip, where we have the trigger, just around that area.
Mm-hmm.
So just to give some more contrast, depending on, because it's a part that will not be.
Where is
too
that
visible.
picture from? It sort of reminds me very much of the farm I grew up on.
That's the default HDRI that Substance has. But I prefer this other one because I have more white colors and the real
Yep.
color about what I'm doing, because the other one obviously in PBR just have tint everything a little bit.
You sleep, don't know what that is. What else should I do at 3 in the morning? Well, glad to have you with us. That's who we should be appealing to, is all the people that can't sleep.
Yeah, it's
Or at least in that time zone. Insomniac TV. Watching Sergi texture his pistol.
it's a new level.
Oh, that wood changed.
No, because I
You lightened it up.
yeah, maybe I'm just
back.
I'm just testing the overlay I said previously. So I'm just This is a lot of trial and error depending on the light conditions and what you are trying to do. So yeah, just testing and using different masks and filters and junk everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm renaming some layers, and here is the overlay maybe. Can't remember. So yeah, but
Now, we were talking with Linda yesterday, and she reckons doing this stream, watching these things, she catches mistakes that she hasn't actually
yeah.
seen. Do you ever catch mistakes when you're watching the stream? You go, oh, I should have done that differently.
Catch mistakes. What do you mean? What you see?
See something that you need to go back and fix after you've done the stream.
Yeah, that always happens.
That does? Okay.
No, it just maybe I say, oh, that's missing something in there, or there is. In this case, for example, this is something that happened today, so I had to fix something in the model directly from modeling.
It said, the Sweet Henrik says the seam makes it look weird. Wouldn't the whole wooden part be the same? So where's the seam that he's talking about?
I don't know. What's it saying?
Yeah. Did you have a seam in it at some point?
No.
So I can't see a seam.
No.
I don't think there is a seam, the Sui Henrik. Oh, by the trigger.
Maybe. Well, because of the UV unwrap, maybe there is a seam, but usually I use a pass-through layer just to cover the seams, but it's something that it's made at the end, not at the beginning, because the pass-through layers takes a lot of computation and makes you slow down all the layer stack, so it's much easier to make it later, not now.
Okay, so that's a UV artifact, UV unwrap artifact.
No, yeah, well, because of the unwrapping, but what happens is that when projecting the texture, it's pretty common that if you use just UV layout and not triplanar projection, what it happens is that you can see the seams of the.
Okay.
But that's pretty common. But it's something that you can fix easily with the clone tool.
Okay, so we'll actually that if there's any seams, they'll get cleaned up later.
Yeah.
Essentially.
They are already clear. So the model is.
So there we are, the Sui Henrik. The seam is unintentional, and hopefully gets cleaned up.
Yeah, that's always is pretty normal to happen.
Okay. So we're doing the metal on the hammer.
Yeah, I'm using a layer here for some shadowing that I use a higher roughness value as well to give some more light breaking, or breaking the light a little bit. So yeah, and trying different tints. Just it's a little bit bluish. So yes, I'm just playing with some dirt as well and some other fill layers that I usually like to use for this kind of things. And the edge wear.
Yeah. No, the edge wear is beautiful.
That's something very, very useful for this kind of small pieces. It's not necessary, but sometimes you just feel.
It does add to realism, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it gives more contrast and it's more pleasant to your eyes, I think. So yeah, I had to make some hand paint here for the mask and helping the generator to correct those parts that I wanted some edge wear, and I didn't find it to have, so I had to tweak it. And I'm using more layers. I am just adding more layers for something. So this is a red color. This is the gradient. Yeah, I'm using a gradient for the metal as well, and just adjusting the gradient now to give some more darker areas at the bottom of the mechanism part of the hammer. So yes, it's another one of the things that I usually do, but sometimes I use just a fill layer and I paint myself the gradient, and not sometimes I use a mask editor here in Substance that I can use for this kind of things, but depend on the day.
Yeah. So you're paying particular attention to this bit that's going to be seen a lot from behind.
Yeah, the trigger and the hammer and the grip and all that kind of stuff. It will be seen. So yeah, I just wanted in the model itself, I just wanted to put some different small pieces so I could give some more contrast to the overall model. And now we move to the barrel. So yeah, I'm using I think it's the same standard material. It's not the same base material I use for the other metal parts. So, but obviously I use a specific mask. One of the ID maps that we previously saw in the other video is here applied just for the barrel, so I can just focus on the barrel and work on this and painting.
That's right. You've got some. Is there still some etching on the top of this barrel?
Some what?
Some etching. You had the words Bessie or something on the top of the barrel?
No, it's not. Yeah, but the words are still in process, so it's not been up. So
Cool.
yeah, but yeah, now I'm separating those parts using, I think, the polygon fill tool in Substance. I had a big ID map for those parts, so I just needed to break all these parts in different ones. So I used polygon fill in Substance, and it's very handy for that. So I was able to isolate those pieces and work separately completely. And yeah, I'm just, first of all, I started with this one. It's just a dark black metal thing. So yeah, I'm using I think it's the same base material as far as I recall. But I had to obviously change the color and change other attributes, put some generators to create some grunge and dirt, and the edge wear as well will be seen later, I think. And the same for the other part. This part was a little bit special because it had the smoothing information, the smoothing normals, smoothing groups. Sorry, the smoothing groups for that one. I had to just tweak a couple of things in Maya. I didn't like how it looked with the texture, so I just modified and changed the original material I had in mind for another one to make it look like I wanted to make it look.
Yeah.
So yes, but basically I'm working on those metal pieces and the barrel at the front of the barrel now, and just playing with that and starting to give some shiny look and metal look with the edge wear we can see now, and use some tint and seeing the roughness channel, how it's looking, if I like that glossiness or not, or I will have to tweak it depending on the material, depending on the metal, depending on everything. And using the same base for the other piece, but as I said, I had to modify a couple of things and make it quite different. So yeah, that's the process.
Yeah.
Here we can see.
So was that your final version of those two bits that are sort of holding the barrel on?
Yeah,
the black.
Yes, the black. Yes, but this one I just wanted to change something here in Maya. I just smoothed that edge out a little bit because I didn't like how it looked, so I had to. There was some tweaking here and there. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the having the two different metals on the gun. That's
there's some diversity.
Yeah. Yeah, I've really started to get an appreciation for what you mean by breaking the light, where you do it. Just adding the subtleties of texture and all the rest of it to things.
Yeah, the microsurface.
Yeah. It really makes a difference to how much you appreciate the item. So, as I'm watching the wood go in and the metal with the wear on the metal and all the rest of it, this is something I actually want to have and to hold. It's a beautiful thing.
That's basically the story of the weapon. I mean, the microsurface is that kind of detail that is telling you the story of.
That's where he threw it in the kitchen drawer and got the ding on it. Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean by that. That is
how old is it? How
much use has it had?
Yeah. It's the story. It's the personality of this kind of asset. So yeah, I had some time with this tiny piece, but it gave me some problems. This is one of the things we say, that when we see it later and say, oh, maybe I had to do this different. So I didn't have any normal map for this, because I was using all the time, not all the time, for this piece I was using weighted normals. So this is the reason that I have to paint and do things with no normal map support, and sometimes that's a little bit, for me, I prefer to have the normal map telling me where the things are, so I can paint accordingly to that. But yeah, I just managed to make it right, and finally it looks nice after all the tweaks and things. So yeah, we can see here more shadows and contrast, and yeah, it's much better. So it's an improvement. Here what I'm doing is faking a hole with some height information.
Okay.
So it gives the feeling that, I think, it gives the feeling to...
Hello.
Sorry to barge in.
Welcome.
Why, thank you.
Welcome to Sergi's and my stream.
Welcome to the Focus Show.
No.
Yeah. Why don't you focus yourself? I might just edge out a little bit. I need to eat because I'm quite desperate, so I'm just going to kind of edge out over here a little bit.
Here's how you were missed. I bought you a cookie.
Oh my God! I'm not planning to miss out on that.
Cool.
I'm planning to catch up. Thank you very much. Sorry, as you were.
Okay. What is the name of that place next door where you get those cookies? Green.
Yeah.
Green. Anybody around the Epic Innovation area or ARA in town here? There's a shop called Green. Next door to the Epic Centre, where they do the marvellous, they do a selection of stuff. So it's paleo cookies, there's all sorts of gluten-free stuff.
But it doesn't.
Even vegan stuff.
Does not come across as healthy. It's fucking
They
marvellous.
sponsor this video.
No, well, they don't sponsor this video, but now if you happen to be watching,
Now I have a phone call.
you should sponsor this video. Now that we've mentioned you. All right.
Okay.
Sorry, Sergi.
I think we are moving to another place now. This is an overall dirtiness layer that I put.
Yeah. I just saw it went over everything. The barrel, everything got dirty all of a sudden.
Yes, I like sometimes to have this kind of layer on top of everything, so I can just see.
He's down in the caves. It all got filthy.
It was buried for a long time. Here more shadowing. Just more shadowing is not the right word that I would like to use for this. Just give some more contrast to the base color.
Yeah.
We have to use the correct PBR terminology. So because we should not have to use the word shadows in PBR.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just faking shadows.
Well, yeah, it does mimic shadows or even ambient occlusion a little, just having those dark strips around the joining edge. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this layer, it's not only color. I am just affecting the base ambient occlusion that I bake in Substance as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just adding more information to the ambient occlusion map. We saw it very briefly. Here it is.
So the Sweet Henrik says, do you make it dirty before the metal texture?
The dirty is just for composition purpose. I only put it on top. In this case, I just put it on top of the layer stack just for me to see how it looks with everything. But usually when I make a single piece, I first make all the texturing process, and then I put another layer of generators of dirtiness or rust or whatever I need. But this kind of layer that I use on top of everything is just for composition. It's just for me to, this is not something that you go blah bam bam bam. This is something that maybe you have to jump a little bit to see it in a very wide angle. So that's the reason for this kind of layers.
When you first did it, when you first put that layer on and it sort of went over everything, it made the cylinder and the body of the pistol actually look like ceramic.
Yeah.
So I was quite tickled with that. I thought, oh, is he going to make that ceramic pistol?
Yeah, that's what happened. So that's the beautiful about these things. So you can see the changes and see, that's not the way, maybe, or change your way during the process and just experimenting with that. So I think that's the fun part of this. It's not something you do mechanically. You have to do it in this way. No, there are thousands of ways to do these kind of things, and as long as the result is there. So I think that's the most important, and having fun, of course.
Yeah.
And that's moving to another piece now, to another ID map. In this case, is for the trigger, and going to the little ball.
The little ball on the bottom of the handle.
Yeah. Yes, I put it here. The very, very original concept, not the one from Lincoln's, the previous one. And these kind of pieces, they usually look like more painted things, but I mean the electric materials, not metal materials. But I was experimenting with that and trying to make it. We will see it for the cylinder. So we will see it in that. But here is a good example. I just changed the idea. I didn't like to use this kind of colors and paints for this weapon, so I transform everything into metal painted thing or metal tinted. And
it makes more sense too, because that piece, more than anything else, is probably something that's fit to actually weight the handle, so that the pistol's nice and balanced, and therefore it would be made of metal rather than. Yeah,
and I don't know. It's like I didn't like the how everything look, because in both concepts. Because of those yellow parts, this is one of those parts. One of the yellow parts makes the concept a little bit cartoony.
Yeah.
And both concepts, because this was not edited in the second one, because I asked Lincoln not to touch that thing, so we didn't do it. But I had in mind to change the idea, the overall idea for this. So basically, we changed from purely dielectric painted material to something like tint metal thing. So that's what and it looks pretty nice. I think it looks really interesting. And for me, it makes more sense for this kind of weapon, because if not, it looks too many plasticky, cartoony. That I like cartoony anyway.
Well, yeah. If the theme of the whole game was cartoony, then that would be fine. But it's not.
No, it's not exactly.
We're trying to fit in with this moderately realistic looking.
It's another style, so So here I think I am.
The sweet Henrik says, got to have some weight so I can break the skull with a good smack. So if you want to pistol whip somebody, you can't be having a piece of cheese on the end. It's got to be something substantial. Oh, that looks good already.
Yeah. That's one of the things. This here we can see that I'm using that kind of brass gold material, and not the original painted matte thing. Because I tried. I have to say that anyway. I just give it a change and try it, and I didn't like how it looked. So just moving on to something else. Yeah, this is just something in the concept. There is some kind of I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like some black matte metal inside.
Yeah.
Surrounded by the gold and beautiful frame. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah. I suppose the black in the centre could actually even be just what it looks like tarnished, and it's always rubbed off on the edges, so that it's clean on the edges and tarnished in the centre.
Yeah, Yeah, something like that.
That's certainly when I saw you do that. That's what I thought. I thought, okay, that's nice because it's you can see where the outside of the trigger's been rubbed and the inside's still dirty from.
Exactly, it's completely it's different. It gives a nice contrast. So yeah.
See, when we first started, and so much of this pistol was done bang with the wood, just like in the first 5 minutes of the movie, I thought, God, this pistol's going to be done in 5 minutes. But in fact, no, it turns out there's an awful lot to that pistol. There's a lot of stuff to do. See, this must be the frustrating part for you, explaining that to the producer or project manager, whoever. And they look at this something and they go, "Oh, you're halfway through, so you'll be finished tomorrow." And you no.
Yeah.
It's only half by volume. Look at all these pieces.
Yeah, pieces are a problem. Always. Now that it's here, I think that now I made some tests before converting that to metal, and just try to look like painted, but didn't like either for that, so I changed it as well. I don't know, that yellow was too extreme.
Yeah. And I agree with you, it's not nailed there.
Yeah, this is how it looks with just painted. This is the electric material, no metal information, and roughness values halfway, a little bit higher maybe for glossiness, but not too much. But I didn't like it. So I'm just masking parts of this because I just wanted to have those edges.
Yeah.
And I'm using polygon fill tool inside Substance to just take those faces because it was very well modeled, so I was able to take just faces and just.
I suppose the other thing we could have done on that is do the same thing, the Purdy shotgun trick that we did with the crossbow, and that's just do a lot of engraving around the interesting parts. So.
What trick? Sorry.
Do you remember the engraving we did on the crossbow?
Yeah.
And I showed you the Purdy shotguns and how intricate their engraving.
Oh yeah.
We could have done something like that, I guess, and it would have looked a very prissy sort of gun.
There is one engraving. It's in the grip, the
Okay.
white part.
Yeah.
That's an engraving, but that's not in the video.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm doing now. But there is one there, and there is another one that's in the video. It's in the barrel.
Okay.
There is this zone that it's like concave, so we can see some engraving later there. It's at the end of the video.
Okay.
And now, I'm just playing with roughness values now and all that.
Okay. Brilliant. Let's go with that.
What
The
are
pink
we,
and gold. on
what are we doing here?
It suddenly became a girl's gun.
Well, it got a bit camp.
I suppose that was a bit sexist of me.
A little bit. Needs sparkles.
Any well-dressed guy might have decided to go with
Absolutely.
what would we call that colour?
What color?
The colour that the cylinder was, the pink, tangerine,
Pink,
something.
I don't know. Just
Pink, orange.
I've got a couple of words for it, but it's really un-PC.
LBGT color. I don't know.
Yeah, let's take 2 steps back from controversial and say.
We've never taken 2 steps back from controversial.
I don't know. It's
It was a bold choice, is what we're saying. It was a bold choice.
Yep. You can go with that one.
Had a catch up with Lauren at lunch.
Speaking of bold choices, I'm just thinking you're making some connection somewhere, but it might be the Ministry of Awesome rather than to bold choices.
It wasn't at all the bold choices. Not that I chose to run into her at lunch. It wasn't bold. It was accidental. At Green, the place where you can get these marvellous paleo cookies.
I'm just sitting off camera because it's just weird eating on
Yep.
camera.
Well, we've sort of got your shoulder on camera, so we can see your shoulder eating on camera.
So I
Cyber
think
Aqua.
it has to be the manly colour.
Has to be the manly colour, which is pink.
There you go. The world is changing.
Indeed.
We are in time to change it.
No, we're changing the world.
Well, somebody told me that in the 1800s, pink was the manly colour,
It was the boys' colour, yes.
Oh yeah.
because
What
boys
kind?
were aggressive and all the rest of it. They were-
Fiery.
yeah, fiery, all the rest of it. Girls were calm and blue.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Strange times.
So the
Yeah.
girls wore blue outfits and the boys wore pink outfits.
Which goes to show just how stupid that whole convention is.
Yes.
Either way.
Aye.
Yes, man, I think we've gone backwards as far as... Now, see, I'm getting controversial now, but I went through the toy section at Farmers the other day, and everything is divided from between boy and girl.
Yep.
It's all boy and girl stuff.
Yeah, but now it's blue and sparkly rainbow, not blue and pink.
Yes. Well, that's true, but I mean, I've never noticed such a stark division between male and female toys
No, I know, it's horrific, isn't it?
previously.
Ridiculous.
We've really gone down a different track, almost a reactionary track
Yeah.
to, reacting to the, where we were going by, taking 10 steps backwards. Anyway, that's got nothing to do with texturing a pistol.
It's the end of the war.
A girl's pistol, because it had a pin. No. It wasn't a girl's pistol. It was the manly choice.
Okay.
Back to you. Right.
I have to say, it's a pretty well-heeled pistol, so you'd imagine that the well-dressed man about town might actually be carrying this pistol. Or woman, indeed. Yeah. It's a.
There you go.
yeah.
You fucked it up again.
I did.
Open mouth footing.
Those stereotypes are they're just hammered right in there, screwed in, bolted in.
Well, they keep coming out, so I don't know. And the
Yes,
world's
but
gone
certainly
silent.
this is not your Walmart gun. You actually go and buy this gun from somewhere
You
special.
can buy perfectly nice guns at Walmart. Possibly
I
not
guess
in
so.
Victorian times, but
Yeah.
perfectly nice tyres too.
I have to say, we have to do a game that goes complete Purdy on everything. Does the whole Purdy shotgun on every weapon, the engraving and all the rest of it. Really prissy weapons.
By Purdy, you mean the brand?
Yeah, James Purdy and
as
Son.
in- not as in, she was real Purdy.
Yes. No, not that, no. Yes, James Purdy and Son, they make the most amazing shotguns with incredible detailing on them. Have a look.
Pink colors.
What era is this gun? So the year of this gun, so we're assuming it's probably
19th century.
it's 1860s thereabout. So it's not meant to be an exact representation of Victorian England, because this is sort of a steampunk world where
Some licenses.
yeah, and probably somewhere a little closer to Eastern Europe as far as what it is. The city itself is a city at the base of some mountains rather than on the coast.
I'm using Photoshop here to just stamp part of the engraving.
Right.
There are different engravings. This is for the cylinder.
Yeah.
So
So there is some engraving on the cylinder. Oh, that's
yeah,
good.
I asked Linda for the original texture for this that she used for the first model, and then I just put it on Photoshop and use it as stencil. We will see it. Stamp.
So that brushed steel that you've got at the back looks very similar to the barrel metal. Is that intentional?
What part? Sorry.
So that where the plate that you're about to etch at the back of the gun,
Uh huh.
the material looks quite close to the material of the barrel. Was that sort of intentional to make it all sort of hang together?
It's possible, yeah. If it's in the concept, yes, surely.
Yeah.
They maybe share the same material. So yeah, here what I'm doing is just I use polygon fill tool again just to isolate some faces on the cylinder
Mm-hmm.
and use it to put some to draw a frame, that kind of frame, and use it some height information as well to bump it up a little bit and give some more contrast between that part and this general cylinder.
Yeah.
And now I'm just filling the last part of the cylinder, that it's the static one. And here we can see the engraving added with a fill layer,
Mm-hmm.
and just cleaning it up some parts in the 2D map. So I'm using the base color channel only to just cleaning, and yeah, that's mostly it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's so now it's clean inside, and outside we have the
Oh, that's beautiful.
we have the difference.
So is that the final for the cylinder?
No, there is more engraving in the yellow part.
Sure.
And this one, yes, yeah. But I added a second layer just to give some more whiteness, contrast between one and the other. I'm using a blend mode to just put them all together.
Yes, that's really nice. That's not just some varmint killing weapon. That's
That varmint, that's some pretty varmint killing weapon.
What is that?
that's
Varmints be like rats and such.
Ah, okay. No, it's for killing.
Brooks
It's for
don't
killing.
steal things like horror or something.
what the hell?
For killing people.
I'm thinking, what the living?
What?
The way conversations just get away. And what accent were you doing? I'm thinking
mean?
like Southern Carolina, and you're doing an accent like, I don't know, or Tennessee even, and
Texas accent, you know.
yeah. I mean, they'd use varmints in Texas, yes, yeah. But
Yeah, I just modified the original texture for the stencil, and just playing with this and looking at the concept, and just this is the roughness information. We can see I think it's roughness, yes. It's a little bit more glossy on the center.
are you
at the
tweeting
moment.
or flirting? Fleeting. Twirting.
I can't.
The two.
Fleeking. Fleeking's a word.
Okay.
I've been tweeting today.
Cool. Anything about us?
No. Yes. I've been doing my Dragon's Den thing.
Ah, very good.
I dragoned the shit out of that den.
So
And
yes,
lots of people
you've
liked
been
it.
off at Ministry of Awesome doing.
I have.
What was it called? Caffeine activator or something? Isn't it?
Tech activator
Tech activator.
thing. I can't remember. I can never remember the name of it. It's a perfectly good name. It's not a perfectly good memory.
Okay, so we're looking at the texture map here, in
Yeah.
all its glory, all its little pieces.
Yeah, I'm using one of the functions in polygon fill tools, the UV map one, so I am able to just select all the shells in the UV map that I want to mask,
Okay.
and it's pretty useful.
And
for-
looking up those cylinders just there, you could see there was a face missing on or it seemed to be, a face missing on the back of the part that covers the cylinder.
when you see through the hole, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something. That's what I fixed this morning.
Oh, that's
That's-
okay. That was
that's
the delay on the movie.
That's what I
right.
said, that I should have to fix that for Linda. So
Yeah.
she is able to rig it. Now she has the model, and she can rig it when she wants to do it. So
Ah. See, did anybody else spot that?
me.
Well, yes, you. I meant in the audience. Did anybody else spot the missing face when you look down the
Yeah.
cylinder?
Yeah, because initially the thing is that cylinder didn't have holes at the back.
Yeah.
You remember that the first one?
Yeah.
So we made the change, and
So we put the holes in, which makes it all very authentic for when we want to flick that thing
Yeah.
out and fill it with.
yeah.
But yeah, that means you now need faces on the.
Exactly, but there was not anything inside just for optimization purposes. That's easy to forget something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fixed this morning, so we have the cover, and now you can see just a black void of nothing.
Excellent. A black void of nothing.
Yeah, it's
Wonderful.
redundant, right? Yeah,
I love a black void of nothing.
yeah, with holes. Well, it's a hole. It's a black void.
Yeah,
With
Black void of nothing with holes.
with holes. And what's in the holes?
that's a
Black.
that's the second part of After the Light.
Yeah, nothingness
Nothingness
with holes in it.
and and balls. I mean and holes.
Yeah.
Hey,
So this weapon, definitely a weapon for killing your friend after a foolish fight in a duel.
Oh, I do that all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but
Rather than just something to just go out and kill rats with.
this is the kind of weapon that you
This
try to kill
this-
somebody and
yeah.
that people just what engraving, what a beautiful thing.
Yes, well, it's the sort of
Kill
weapon
me
you
with
take out of
style.
a box, you know, when you're about to
Yeah,
shoot somebody you've quarrelled with, you know.
Is it?
Yes, yes. It looks that good.
Oh, that good. Okay.
Yeah.
here is the engraving for the gold
Oh,
part.
wow.
It's a little bit. It's more subtle than the other one. Sure. And yeah, it's barely visible, but it's there. That's important. No, it's visible. So this is the roughness channel, so I can use some levels in the roughness channel to know exactly how shiny is the thing and how roughy is the thing.
How shiny and how roughy.
No, it's not okay.
How rough, I would say. That's a brilliant use of the language, though.
Yeah.
I think we should adopt it, roughy.
Roughy. Yes.
Roughy.
How shiny or roughy?
Yeah.
glossy, and
It's, yeah. Shiny and roughy's better.
I say
Shiny
that
rough.
people that have English as a second language come up with much
Oh,
better
way
expressions.
better.
Sometimes.
Yep.
third language.
Oh,
Remember,
there you go.
Yeah, yeah. Third language.
third language.
What was the name of that singer? I always liked her lyrics. She came up with the best lyrics because English was not her first language. Shakira or something, was it?
Shakira.
She was not.
That the one with
An English
Yeah, she is.
luckily my breasts are small and humble or something like that. Yeah, she just had the best way of actually using the language. Just because it wasn't first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds flat for us. Here I'm doing the same thing, just faking a hole for the cylinder, because initially this is a piece that it just
Yeah, it's all
Put
pieced
in there.
together, and you're trying to make it look like two pieces actually fitting
Yes.
together with a hole in one
yeah
and the other sitting inside.
it's just giving some
And I have to say, beautifully done.
it's just to give some height thingy, height information. That's it. Just doing
Oh,
big
that's a bit
strokes.
rough.
Yeah, doing because sometimes it's much better to give big strokes and then
Then refine.
polish it later.
Yeah.
Yeah, and make it roughy. No, make it much better. It's okay. Yeah, that's. I think I'm not playing with symmetry now, so that's the reason I'm going back and
One side and the other because
Yes.
you haven't got the symmetry.
Yeah, I think because I forgot simply that, not for anything else, but yeah. Now we will play with some stamps later for the metal parts. I think that's recorded.
Mm-hmm.
Using, I'm creating another layer. Yes, I'm using some metal stamping decals,
Yeah.
normal decals. Yeah, I'm using different for the edge wear, I'm using anchor points. This is a feature in Substance Painter very useful that allows me to, it allows the software to know where the rust and then edge wear is, and applying to the stamps as well.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting
Do
feature.
you like the edge wear on the metal?
Yes, I do. It is quite roughy.
It's rough. No, it's glossy.
Oh,
It's
glossy
the
and
opposite.
roughy.
It's the opposite.
If you see that cog end on, you can see all the moving parts that move against something are polished,
All the rough.
and all the rest are rough,
all the
and it
rough,
just looks so natural, so real.
Then good job then.
Yeah.
It's a good job on that
absolutely.
cock.
And the cock and the roughy cock.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the only grown up here.
Well, how fucking sad for you. That's all I got to say about that. Devolve.
You know, the Focus show is just spicy. It's a little bit spicy.
It's a little bit spicy.
It's a little bit dodgy, a little bit edgy, a little bit
a
spicy.
little bit roughy.
Yeah, a little bit roughy, a little bit smoothie.
Exactly.
Hey! What?
I keep forgetting you can actually see me.
I can see you right in front of me. Like here. Like.
But I was facing away, but clearly you can still see my mouth actually on the screen. So
I can see your mouth from here and your hand pointing at me.
something's a little
all
weird
the
down the
evidence I
bottom there,
needed.
isn't it?
Hey?
Just having a look at the way the cylinder's actually going in. And now it's time to pick faults. Oh no, it's alright. It was just the angle it was on, it looked a bit straight. Oh, it's okay, we saw the concept art there
Just for a fraction of a second.
for a fraction of a second.
No, that's it. Because I first of all,
That's beautiful.
I needed that thing as a stencil.
Yep.
But then I asked Linda for a better one with bigger resolution. The one that she used in the original model.
Mm-hmm.
But first of all, I tried to use this one and just stamp it and use it in base color and some faked roughness information from the base color. But then I changed my mind. I asked Linda. She found the texture, so I was able to use it. I think it's this one.
Okay.
Or not. I don't know. It's. I think because I don't wear my glasses now, so I don't see the difference between one and the other. Yeah, I think this is. She sent it now, so that's the new one.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, maybe, but anyway, we used another one, we used a better one with better resolution.
I love this whole process of creation. You know, you give Lincoln an idea and he goes and he draws something,
I know, it's rather
paints
wonderful,
something, hands it to Sergi and it becomes a 3D thing, you know. And then, yeah, it gets all this history that Sergi paints on there with texture, so you can see all the wear marks and all the rest of it, as he was saying before, the whole history of the weapon is sort of built into it. And then Linda animates it so it becomes working and functional, and all from nothing but imagination.
Yeah, that's...
Like a 2-sentence description in a book.
Yeah, and now it's time for this metal bar. It has white color and green color.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very dirty, so I use some dirt.
Wear marks, is that like werewolves?
Yes, yes.
We're werewolves, not swearwolves.
So
Yes, humans by day, but when the full moon arrives, they become a mark.
Ooh,
Yeah, just a smudge somewhere.
that's quite nasty actually.
Could have sworn you said clear mark.
No,
No.
no.
No, we didn't.
Wear marks.
Not the German Air Force
Okay, that's the golden part.
Same thing with warehouses, by the way.
Oh, yes. What about wherewithal? Whereabouts? Wearable. Okay, I'm going to stop.
Yeah, I think we've gone from the ridiculous to the overly ridiculous.
Oh, it's a fine line. So what are we looking at?
At this point, I had a very huge layer stack, and what I was doing now is painting the very front of the gun. It's golden metal, so something like
yeah. If you're looking at this end of the gun, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you're dead basically. No. And there is some engraving, so I'm just using one of the stamps that I already have.
That's an aim away from face or something.
I'll open other end.
Yes.
So yeah, there it is, engraving. Yeah. That's it. The front part, more or less, because today I tweaked that part. So I gave more repetition to the pattern, and now we are going now to the front engravings. Not this one. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I just prepare the texture to be perfectly square. That is one of the requirements in Substance.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just cutting the edges, just cleaning up a little bit everything in Photoshop, and it's not a big texture, so but it's okay. Send result, import it here, and then
That wasn't square, that was rectangular.
now square all the texture.
Alright,
Not
okay.
just the.
Okay,
I need that for.
not just that one strip.
Yeah, I mean all the map. So yeah, that's it. So I import it. I use a stencil projection and prepare some different channels like roughness, base color,
Mm-hmm.
and height information, and start to give something. No.
This is turning into a beautiful gun.
Yeah, now we will see this. This is just because I have to tweak the channels a little bit, and now this is the roughness. So I think I don't see anything. And now we will start seeing the pattern stamped into the gun. The stamp, yeah. Cleaning, first of all, what I do is cleaning those parts that are outside the frame, and now we will tweak all that black thing to make it more readable.
Okay.
Now we can see lighting affecting
Yeah.
correctly to the thing, and we will do the same thing for the other side, because again I forgot to enable symmetry. So but now I have the mask, so everything is set up. I only have to stamp it, and that's it. I just put it in 180 degrees to change the face.
Yeah.
That's the reason I didn't make symmetry, maybe.
Yeah, so the curve stays outwards.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing how ornamental weapons of destruction and death and killing are, isn't it?
Yeah.
They make them so pretty.
Yeah.
At least you die with, fighting against something that is pretty or
Yeah, beautiful.
beautiful.
Yeah, elegant.
But you die anyway, so
Yeah.
Exactly, it would be a waste if this weapon killed anybody less than a well-dressed person.
Yes, you wouldn't want to waste something like this on a isn't.
At this stage, it was late. Yesterday late, I was just tweaking some colors because I had to clean a little bit this area. But the last engraving is not in here. It's anyway. Yeah, we can see that it's perfectly watchable. It looks nice, I think. Just small things, but this is it's a huge layer stack. I had to.
Yeah, I can
change.
see down the right hand side there.
Yeah, I had to export the document and plug in again in a much lower stack. So yeah, I'm just doing some tweaks, something.
Yeah.
And for the grip overall, because now when you have all those pieces put together, you have a better composition about everything, and you can make some decisions about what to do next, or what you have done and what can you do better.
Do you ever reach a point where you're doing stuff and undoing it, and you think, okay, I've reached the point where everything I do makes it look degrades it, so I should stop.
I think we reached the point here.
Yep.
So you just make the screen go blank and you put a wee cone up.
Yes.
And that's the final moment.
Yeah. Oh, fuck it. This is it.
It's
So
a
from there
cone.
to if we can get somewhere where we should stop and show the final thing again. Bit further. Yeah, so watching from there again. It's almost finished here, stamping the side of the barrel.
Yeah.
But she's a beautiful weapon. Alright, and that is our broadcast. So, unless there's any questions for anybody, we'll be back tomorrow. And I think we've got a guest in tomorrow. I think we've got Keegan from Digital Confectioners coming in to talk to us about using Unreal Engine, in particular using blueprints. So we might have Keegan and Ben on just so we get a nice conversation about what's going on in After the Light, and it's a chance for us to learn something live on air. But that's Brooke, Margaret and Sergi signing off from Stickmen Media, where we've been streaming the development of our game After the Light, today doing the texturing of the pistol. We'll see you again tomorrow at 1 PM New Zealand Standard Time or 1 AM UTC. So bye for now, and catch you tomorrow.